Hello, dear students. Welcome back to the session on Module 5 Lubrication and Bearing Design. So, in the previous sessions, we have come across about the lubrication, what are the different lubricants, and then properties of lubricant. And after that, we have come across bearing and classification of bearing, and then design of journal bearing. So the design procedure that we have come across. So the procedure what we have discussed in the previous session, that is the general design procedure. Now, based upon that procedure itself, say there will be two types of problems that will be asked. Say one is with the known value of diameter of the journal, that is shaft diameter, that will be given. So with the known value of a diameter of the shaft, we have to determine either minimum film thickness, coefficient of friction, power lost due to friction, then Sommerfeld number, flow rate, all those things that we have to calculate. In another case that is type 2 problems where application oriented problems will be given, application based, such as a main bearing used in a turbine, a main bearing used in centrifugal pump, like that particular machinery that will be given. Based upon that, we have to follow the steps what we have discussed in the general design procedure. Now let us take the example of first kind where diameter of the journal is known. So here a lightly loaded journal bearing having a diameter of 100 mm and length of 100 mm. So these are the two parameters, they are known, length and diameter. So here both the values are same, that is length as well as diameter. So if this is the case, then the bearing, journal bearing, what we can say, the particular bearing is called as square bearing. If d is greater than length of the bearing, in that case that bearing is short bearing. Another one is long bearing. So the another case, now this bearing supports a load of 50 kilonewton and rotating at an rpm of 1440 rpm, and the radial clearance is given here. So there are two clearances, one is radial clearance small c, another one is diametral clearance capital C suffix d. Now this is radial clearance, and which is obtained by the as the difference between radius of the bearing and radius of the shaft. So this is 0.07 mm. The absolute viscosity of oil, that is also given here. So in application type of problem, this value will also not given, so that also we have to determine. So 16 centipoise, in terms of centipoise it is given, but we have to convert this centipoise into newton second per meter square or pascal second. So to get that value, we have to use the conversion factor. So while using that value in the equations, we have to convert that one into Newton second per meter square. And we have to calculate the minimum film thickness, MFT, and then coefficient of friction and power loss. These are the three things that we have to calculate. And this particular question that is asked in one of the previous year question papers, that is December 15, January 16 question paper. Now let us proceed with the steps. So first of all, we have to note down the given information. So which are noted here: diameter of the shaft, length of the bearing, load that is to be carried by the bearing, that is radial load, RPM n, and a small n is to be required, is to be calculated here, which is RPS, revolutions per second. So this RPM value is to be divided by 60. So then radial clearance C is also given, and Z, that is absolute viscosity, that is 16 centipoise. So 1000 centipoise is equal to 1 Newton second per meter square. So if I want the value of Cp is to be converted in terms of Newton second per meter square, means this value is to be divided by 1000. So that value is 10 raised to minus 3 Newton second per meter square. So this is to be divided by 1000. So the value what you get here is 0.016 Newton second per meter square, or 0.016 Pascal second. So we have to calculate minimum film thickness, which is H minimum, or in the same time this H is also, or notation is also used here as H naught. So for the calculation of H minimum, we have to refer the graph. So for that purpose, we require the calculation of Sommerfeld number. So Sommerfeld number is one of the important parameter here, which is required. So to refer the graphs. So without side leakage, the Sommerfeld number that is to be calculated, that assuming there is no side leakage. So S is equal to R by C whole square into Zn by P into 10 raised to minus 6, and this is available in data handbook equation number 15.6a, page number 354. So by using this equation, you have to calculate the Sommerfeld number. So Sommerfeld number, to calculate this pressure, bearing pressure is also required. So bearing pressure is given by W divided by L into D, or W divided by 2RL. So the equation which is available in the data handbook also. So you can use this equation to calculate pressure. So the pressure value is 5 Newton per mm square. So that the value of S is 2.351. 2.351. So this is in terms of per minute. So you can use this value to calculate the, or to note down the value of minimum film thickness. So the first thing that is asked here is minimum film thickness, MFT, so which is H naught. So we have to refer the data handbook figure number 3 for 15.9, page number 356. So this is the graph which gives the minimum film thickness value with respect to S Sommerfeld number, that is 2.351, and beta value 360 degrees. So here the bearing is either partial or fully loaded or full bearing. So here nothing is given. So assume that this is the full bearing. Full bearing means the particular bearing which is having 360 degree of contact with respect to the lubricant. Now it is 360 degree here. So based upon that value, say S is 2.351 along the abscissa, and there are number of curves with respect to different values of beta. So for 360 degree, we have to get that point and move along horizontal line, so that you will be getting the value of H naught by C on ordinate, on y-axis. So this is what we get here is 0.57. So H naught by C is 0.57. So this is what called as minimum film thickness variable. It is not a minimum film thickness. So H naught is required for us. So therefore H naught is equal to this value multiplied by C. The value is to be multiplied by C. So this C is to be taken here. So that the value of H naught, that is what minimum film thickness. So minimum film thickness is obtained here as 0.0399 mm. Next value that we have to calculate is coefficient of friction. So the bearing which is given here is lightly loaded bearing. Initially itself the type of bearing that is given, either heavily loaded or lightly loaded. So lightly loaded means, so this lightly loaded bearing that holds good the Petrov's theory, or according to Petrov's theory, the theory assumes that the bearing is having very less amount of load, or loaded with a very light load. So therefore with respect to this particular case, lightly loaded case, we have to use the Petrov's equation to determine the coefficient of friction. So which is available in equation number 15.4a, page number 353 of the data handbook. So this equation that includes 2 pi square into 10 raised to minus 6 into Zn by P into R by C. So 2 pi square, that is the constant, 10 raised to minus 6 is also the conversion factor. Z is Newton second per meter square, that is Pascal second. N is in RPS, and P is in Newton per mm square. And R is in mm, and C is also in mm. So this 10 raised to minus 6 to convert Newton per mm square into Newton per meter square. So after substituting all the values, we will be getting the value of coefficient of friction as 0.00109. So this is with respect to the COF value according to Petrov's theory. So if the bearing is not mentioned or specified with the lightly bearing, or use Petrov's equation, in that case we have to use another equation which is available in 15.4b, or equation number 15.4b of the same page. So the next equation that we have to use is to calculate the power lost. So power lost equation, that is nothing but the amount of heat generated. So heat generated equation is divided by 1000. So that gives the value of power lost due to the friction. So Fw into V. F is coefficient of friction, and W is the load acting on the bearing, that is 50 into 10 raised to 3 newtons, and velocity which is calculated here pi dn by 60 into 1000, 7.54 meter per second. So the value of P is 0.410 kilowatts. So this is what the value of power lost. So this is one kind of problem. So take another example. So which is also asked in one of the previous question paper. So a full journal bearing. Full journal bearing means the value of beta is 360 degrees, having a diameter of 50 mm and 75 mm long. So this is what called as long bearing. And load of it is loaded with a 1000 newtons. So radial load W is also given here. D is 50 mm, L is 75 mm, and W is 1000 newtons. And shaft is rotating with a 600 rpm, that is capital N. And here the surface temperature of the bearing is limited to 60 degrees centigrade. So the bearing temperature is given here as 60 degrees centigrade, TB. And the room temperature, what we say as ambient temperature, denoted by the notation TA, that is 30 degrees centigrade, that is also given here. And we have to determine the viscosity of the oil if the bearing is well ventilated and no artificial cooling is to be used. No artificial cooling is to be used means the amount of heat generated is equal to amount of heat discharged or dissipated. So that is what the meaning of that. And it is well ventilated, and the ratio of journal diameter to the diametral clearance is 1000. So that is nothing but D by CD is equal to 1000. So that value is given here. And we have to determine what here absolute viscosity or the viscosity of the oil. Viscosity of the oil is unknown. So since it is also a type 1 problem itself, where diameter is known, so the diametral clearance is given. So diametral clearance is given and diameter is given, so that we can get the value of ratio is given here, so we can get the value of diametral clearance. So with the help of that, we are able to get the value of radial clearance, small c. Small c is given by uh, the value or ratio of CD by 2. CD is to be divided by 2. That is what half of the diametral clearance. So that value is 0.025 mm. That is the radial clearance value. Next comes RPS. That is small n. Capital N divided by 60. RPM divided by 60 seconds. That is nothing but 10 revolutions per second. And there is no artificial cooling is required. That condition is given, so that Hg is equal to HD. So this is the equation which is available in the data handbook as HD is equal to LD into bracket T plus 18 whole square divided by K3. So this is available in the data. So heat dissipated is given by LD into bracket T plus 18 whole square divided by K3, equation number 15.11c, page number 360 of the data handbook. So T is nothing but a rise in temperature, which is delta T, so which is given by TB minus TA. So TB minus TA is 60 minus 30 degrees centigrade, that is nothing but 30 degrees centigrade. And K3 value is 0.2674 into 10 raised to 6. So if you substitute all the values, we will be getting the value of heat dissipated. So heat dissipated is given by L into D. L into D is L is 75, D is 50 mm, and T temperature rise is 30 degrees centigrade plus 18 whole square divided by this value. So that the answer is 32.3 joules per second. So which is equal to heat generated also. Now heat generated equation that we know, that is Fw into V, which is available in equation number 15.11a, page number 360 of the data handbook. So with the help of this, so Hg value is known, 32.3 joules per second. F value, COF, that is only the unknown, and W is 1000 newtons, and V is, which is calculated here by dn by 16 to 1000 equation. So that gives the value of V as 1.57 meter per second. So the value of F, what we get here is 0.0205, that is coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction. So this value that we got here as coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction. So once we get the value of coefficient of friction, now we can use the coefficient of friction equation to calculate the absolute viscosity. So here we are reversing the procedure. So actually we require the value of Z. So to calculate Z, we have to use the COF equation. Coefficient of friction, that is unknown. So we have to get the value of coefficient of friction first by using heat generated equation. which is equated to heat dissipated. Now using Mackey's equation of coefficient of friction. So here to determine coefficient of friction, we have to make use of Mackey's equation because it is a heavily loaded, because here there is nothing is specified about lightly loaded case or loading case. So assume that it is heavily loaded. So F is equal to Ka into Zn by P into R by C into 10 raised to minus 10 plus delta F. So equation number 15.4b of data handbook, page number 353. So the values of Ka, that is 0.195 into 10 raised to 6. This is for full bearing. Otherwise, we have to multiply beta with other equation that is available in the data handbook. Delta F is equal to 0.02002. So F is calculated, that is to be substituted here, 0.0205 in the LHS. And in the RHS only the value of Z, that is absolute viscosity, is the unknown parameter. So after simplification, say pressure value is also to be calculated separately. So W divided by L into D. W is 1000 and L is 50. Sorry, D is 50 and L is 75. So pressure value what we get here is 0.2667 Newton per mm square. So the value of Z is 0.02530 Newton second per meter square. So which is Pascal second. So this is what the required answer. So these are the two examples what we have discussed in today's session with the known diameter and length of the bearing. So here we have calculated power lost and absolute viscosity. So in the next session, I will take one more example or one or two more problems on the same kind, and then we will discuss the application oriented problems. Thank you.